Okay. Yeah, they're all gonna gank Neath. Oh, holy. Hello everyone, this is your host, Professor Reha here with the SMITE support guides. This time we are now going into Khumbakarna. Now, Khumbakarna is an interesting mix between... well, functionally a mix between Khepri and Athena, where Khepri is pretty much 100% supportive. Khepri doesn't really have anything that does a lot of damage. Khepri doesn't have anything that exclusively does damage. He's got a lot of support options. He has a lot of ways of supporting his team and buffing them and debuffing the enemy, and etc. And Athena has a decent amount of damage abilities where she's got the taunt, which is mostly pure CC. She's got the dash, which is kind of a hybrid. She's got the shield wall, which is pure damage. And she's got the ult, which is a lot of things. Khumbakarna is really kind of a bit of both. He can do some damage with his belly flop. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head. He's got his root, he's got the sleep, he's got the knock-up, which is rather effective as both a supporting and a damage dealing option, depending on the situation that you need it in. So, you do have all of these really interesting potential options here, just based on the situation at hand. So if you want to build a little bit of damage on Khumbakarna, you can do that and get away with it, where you couldn't, say, with Khepri. Or if you wanted to go pure support, you can do that a little bit easier with Khumbakarna because he's got a few more support options. He can actually last a decent bit longer than, say, Athena could in a similar situation. We're going to go right for Sentinel's Gift here, and then I want to go into... let me see... what do I really need here? Probably should focus a little bit on magic protection. So we're going to go into... no, that's not quite what we want to go with first. That's actually a tough question. Actually, no, we're going to go into Stone of Binding first, I think. And... do we need Sustain? Do we need... I have an interesting comp. I'm not sure what we'll need. We'll go Magic Shell. No, I think we are going to actually go into Gauntlet of Thebes, I think. And we need potions. Now, another thing that a lot of people don't talk about when they're talking about Khumbakarna is his passive. When you die, of course, and you've got your, full... yeah, I'm a little bit late. I was too busy trying to figure out what the heck I was going to build. No, we're fine. Because you'll be able to clear these out just fine. We're fine. We'll be alright. Alright, good. Thor is ahead. We are okay. You're way too aggressive. No, we're going to leave that alone. There we go. Back it up a little bit. Come back forward. Okay. We're fine. You're too far up, Neath. Oh my goodness. Okay. No, it's not over yet. Relax. Neath played a little too far up there. Didn't get the backflip. Well, I can understand why he wouldn't get the backflip as the second ability. That makes some sense. Alright. Anyways, I never actually completed my thought. When you revive from your passive after sleeping at 0 health, when you come back, assuming you aren't, actually killed, you come back with a percentage of your maximum health and mana. So any item you build on Khumbakarna should really be including health or mana in some capacity here, which is pretty easy to accomplish with most support items providing you with health or mana, usually health, but there is, of course, like the Breastplate of Valor that provides you with delicious mana, so there is that as well. She has to go, which is fine. Very nice. Did not intend to take that. And we also saved this, which is really nice. Excellent. That worked out quite well. I think I'm going to weaken this down. Because I just want this wave pushed up a little bit. There we go. Now the point of doing that was to make sure that we have a little bit of a push up there. I also hit level 5, so I get my ult. I'm going to assume, for the sake of argument, that Ganesh is heading to mid. Because I didn't see him in left, and he theoretically would be at left by now, so I have to make that assumption.
An enemy has been slain.
Just stall her out as much as possible. That's a good gank by the Thor over there, I could see that. No, that's not worth it. Okay. Now you're pinging those harpies. Why? What are you trying to indicate to me? That the enemy is going for those? Okay, that he is missing left. Okay, Ganesh is missing. Where did Ganesh go? There's Ganesh. I've found Ganesh. Whoops. Okay, so what are we going to do with this? See, the problem is my root isn't something I can use a whole... Well, I can't use consistently because Ganesh can silence me out of it. So that's a little bit of a difficult thing to pull off. And long distance belly flops are going to be tough to pull off as well because, again, he can silence me out of those. So I have to kind of time my root. Let me just get out of here really quick. I'm actually kind of back here. I'm not going to be able to survive if I stay up. And besides, I need my Gauntlet of Thebes. My next move is definitely going to be the Pestilence, because they're going to have a decent amount of healing. They have Hell, they have Soul. Very definitely I will need Pestilence. So we're just going to go right on ahead and waltz on in here. Where did Ganesh go? I wasn't paying enough attention to see where they went. Should have bought wards. I forgot. Neath is sort of losing left, which is interesting. Oh, why are they back here? We definitely need more wards. I completely whiffed that. Ganesh should be over here. There he is. There he goes. I'll tank this for you. Don't worry about it. You're fine. Okay. I thought Thor was gonna gank that. I'm going to be really honest. Thor was positioned right here. To the left of the sentry ward there, he was positioned right there. I thought he was going to ult in and gank. He did not. I thought I heard that noise. I must have been mistaken. But I thought for sure. Yeah, Neith had the same exact thing. I thought for sure that Thor was going to gank that, and he did not for some reason. Neith and I had the exact same idea. I can recover. I'm not going to really be too broken up about this in terms of where I'm at currently. So that's fine. But, you know, it's definitely bad for Neith, and there was no reason Neith needed to die there. Because Thor, I thought for sure, was going in, and he did not. That was a very strange decision by Thor, I must say. That was a 2-for-1 special he could have gotten right there, and he did not go for that. That's a really good gank. I thought for sure Ganesh would be over here. He is over here, I was right. I tried. What do you want from me? I tried my best. Unless you're talking about the Olorin. Alright. It's a shame we didn't get, shame I couldn't get the, Very nice. Very nice. The Olorin was a little late to that, and I wish I could have picked up the Nike there for, Thor, but that definitely wasn't... I just didn't have... But the Ganesh, like I said, silenced out my belly flop from a distance. What is that actually called? Throwback. Silenced my throwback because it was too long range. He caught that with his silence, exactly as I predicted would happen earlier. Which is unfortunate, but I had to take the gamble, and it's just, it didn't pay off. I'm just gonna stack up my, hello. Nope. This isn't a fight we want. Okay. I guess it's a fight we're now getting. We don't... This isn't a good idea. Nope, that's not good. I have to get out of here. There's no way I'm surviving. There is absolutely no way. I'm out of here. I'm gonna grab or work towards Pesty. I need to put down my wards. I should probably put them... Where should I be putting these? Let me see. Which side is seeing the most action here? Definitely right jungle, I would have to say, but I don't want to completely ignore left jungle either. That would be a tragic mistake. The Neith is having a bit of a hard time, not entirely through her own fault, by the way. She's a bit aggressive, but, I mean, she's a hunter, she's supposed to be. I will definitely admit that I arrived to lane very late. I arrived to my position very late. Yeah, I can go over there and do that. Did she just dive the tower with her whirlpool form? Is that what happened? Okay, she's ulting. That was a good backflip. That was a good backflip. I know for a fact you don't have anything up. This is not a problem. There we go. Yeah, there's probably somebody coming over to gank Neith. What is Thor doing over here? We have this place so heavily warded right now. What the heck happened? Alright. I'm gonna bring it back over this way. That's fine. That's what we want. This gives us time to do the Gold Fury. I'm sorry, Zonkwe, but we're gonna have to sacrifice your well-being for the good of the team. Alright, excellent. I'm slowed for 12 years. This is fine. Alright, so let me see. Once we get Pestilence, What's the next step? I'll probably want Breastplate of Valor for the cooldowns. Unless... No, there's really not going to be any kind of crits there. If she does build crits, I don't think I'll need necessarily Spectral Armor for that. It doesn't look like she's going to go in the crit direction, to be honest. No, this is not as effective as I thought it was going to be. I'm now past the point where I can effectively start farming the jungle. I no longer can do so. I mean, waves I can do. But because I can't push back the medium jungle creatures, I don't have the damage output anymore, the flat damage output to actually pull that off right now. I might a little bit later on, but there's going to be a very narrow window when I can do so. This Olerin, I was going to say, is very aggressive for not knowing where Nike is. Although she's getting absolutely slapped. She's not building any kind of... Nah, she's really not. Okay. Okay, they're all... Oop. Yeah, they're all right there. I want to put a ward down here. Nice. Alright. No, I don't need to be here. What am I doing? Don't want to fight me? I don't do much damage. I'm only a Khumbakarna. Can we gank? Charybdis over there? Have to remember her name now. Now, she's pulled back, didn't she? She bailed. Alright. The Ganesh starting to come after me, but then stopping and turning around confirmed that she had backed. That's not worth it. He's going to go for the experience camp, and I don't think he's got... He's... No, it's already gone. Never mind. I really don't think this is the ambush you think it is. Olerin isn't there. Soul is floating around. Yeah, Zonkwi is way out of position here. He's got probably... He's got Soul nearby. He's got Hell nearby. I'm pretty sure Nike's on her way over. Good play, good play. Nike was in left jungle, apparently. Still. I thought she'd crossed over by this point, but I guess not. Hold on. Where? We don't have enough information. Yeah, I will. I just am trying to figure out where the enemy team is. There's Hell. Okay, there's Charybdis. Where is Soul? Oh, there's Soul. I'll gank. Yeah. I'll just tank it. It's fine. You don't hit me hard enough for that. She didn't die from that, did she? Ah, that's unfortunate. Peekaboo. Very nice. And I even survived. I didn't expect to, honestly. I just wanted to have that opportunity to put them back to sleep. Give them a little bit of extra room. Nice. Excellent. Excellent. Yeah, we need to ebb now. You say yes. Oh no, that was Neith that said yes. This is bad. Nope. Ah. Did not have the time I needed for that. I don't have the mana either. Yeah, he's dead. I can't save him. I don't have... Nope. And we are out of here. Unless they dive me. I didn't think they were going to. They're going for the gold. They're going for gold. But now I have, at the very least, I need to get my relic. I'm gonna get blink. I need that for initiation. And off we go. Alright, now middle lane's gone. There's nothing we can do about that. That was inevitable. Ganesh just caught up, but that's fine. Let's see here. Okay. There we go. I'm gonna go ward the fire giant. Never mind. I'll save it then. Good job. Gotta take out these enhanced minions. Oh, okay. It's just Nike though. She's jungle. She's supposed to be. There's hell. Okay. Yep, we have 2 there. Is anyone else going over there or not? That's the question. There's Soul in mid. I can cut him off here. Oh, we are getting a little bit too deep in here, aren't we? There we go. I guess I'll just kill them off. What? Come here. Oh, wow. Okay, I can't believe I survived that. That was extremely close. I would like to wait until my passive is back up. Nope. Nope. I'm going to die. Nope. Yep. You're still chasing. Okay. Just need to stall. Are you still chasing me? No. Okay. I'm surprised the Zonkui went back in after he was so close to death. I can kind of understand that, but it was definitely not the correct move. What do I need next? At this point, what I need next is... I want Voidstone for the benefit of Olorun and Zonkui. And then I'll want... let me see... I think a good idea would be to grab Midgardian Mail, perhaps. Alright. That's fine. We got this. It's fine. Ganesh, Ganesh, Ganesh. Nice miss. Okay, I did not see the Nike coming in there. Alright. You can get out of the fight for a second, huh? There I go. I'm dead. Yeah. Ooh, okay. So, let me see. Is anyone else building anti-heal? No. Zonkui has Pestilence, at the very least. But nobody has Divine Ruin, no one's got Brawler's Beatstick. No one's got anything anti-heal. Okay. Yeah, that's the problem right now. No, we're not going to surrender this because you're having a rough time. We can still pull this off, but we need anti-heal. Somebody else needs to build anti-heal. This is one of the problems. Zonkui and I are the only ones with anti-heal right now, and that is not how that's supposed to go. Ganesh is quite a bit ahead of me right now. I need to farm. Perfect. Yeah. Okay, good. I think we can get this. Zonkui is really slapping this thing. Wow. Very nice. I like that. Okay. Now, we were able to get that because they had all just been over to the Fire Giant, so it was pretty likely that they weren't going to be coming over to the Gold Fury at that time, so that was a pretty safe bet. There we go. Thank you. Oop, there we go. There's Soul for some reason. Okay. Yeah, they're all gonna gank Neath. Oh, holy cow. There's nothing we can do about this. I mean, what are we gonna do? We just went in one by one. We went in individually. We're not coordinated at all. The Thor just goes in without any kind of... I mean, yeah, Charybdis was in danger, but going in by yourself like that before I was there wasn't going to keep you alive. I mean, he died immediately because they had all of their... Holy... What do you mean, get anti-healing? Okay, Thor does have Brawler's Speed Stick. I don't know if he had that originally. I might have missed that. But the problem is that at the very end there, we went in individually. Thor went in... well, first Charybdis was way too far up for that. First off. I mean, okay. So, Thor is partially correct. At the end there, Neath was way too far up by herself. That is 100% true. I will give him that. Neath should not have been that far up. Yes. But Thor should not have ulted right in afterwards. We could have abandoned the Neath, cut our losses, and defended at Phoenix. We probably wouldn't have been able to defend the tower, but we could have defended the Phoenix. With just the four of us. That would have been fine. But instead, Thor made a vain attempt at saving Neath for some reason, and just dies. So, Thor was just as much at fault for that as Neath was, in all honesty. Besides that, let me see. Nike was actually a really interesting and strong choice for jungling in this situation because Zonkui has decent autos and clearly had some interest in going into autos with Mannequin's Ring of Hecate here. So, Nike was going to be very effective against Zonkui in ganks, which is why Zonkui had such a hard time there. And furthermore, same thing with Neath. Neath obviously uses auto attacks, emphasizes auto attacks, so Nike's disarm can really hurt Neath as well. Now, it was only towards the end when Nike had picked up Void Shield and Berserker's Shield that Nike was really starting to turn this around. I'm not 100% sure why Nike has a Kaivel here. I think what would have been a better item would have been... What is that called? The Crusher. That's the one. Thank you. Yes, the Crusher would have been probably a little bit better for Nike because you would have been able to do damage over time with the, triple slap. And then you would have had some flat penetration there, which would have gone really well with Jotuns. You would have had increased attack speed like he wants. This might be just how I play Nike. I do have her at Diamond, but this might be just my personal playstyle. But I don't auto-attack with Nike a ton. I do whenever my abilities are off cooldown, but when you have Jotun's Wrath as your first item, or your second item technically. And then you go into Archival, it's very odd to me. I don't necessarily, it's not bad, but I will argue that the Crusher probably would have been a little bit better for Nike in the short term, possibly even the long term. But Nike was just dying all over the place. Probably why Nike grabbed Void Shield and Berserker Shield was just how much she was dying all over the place in the early to mid game. Once I locked her down, basically, my allies were able to take care of her pretty quickly, which is the way it should be. Charybdis, of course, I'm not terribly comfortable with yet. I haven't fully figured out Charybdis, but definitely strong. So I'm not going to fully blame Neith on that either. I think Charybdis, the only thing I dislike about Charybdis, she's moderately, balanced, except for that escape. Her escape is way too strong. It's even worse than Soul's, and Soul's is a pain in the neck to deal with anyways. So I will argue that Charybdis' Whirlpool form thing, that's an absolute nightmare to deal with. That's a little too strong to deal with, personally, in my opinion. Just the ability to become completely immune in a split second. At least Soul has a delay on her activation, for a reason. Charybdis doesn't have that, so that is going to be my only complaint about Charybdis here. Otherwise, I'm not really comfortable enough with Charybdis' passive, really, to necessarily state whether or not this build is good, although I can tell you that Death's Embrace is really strong all the time. Very nice item, but for the rest of this, I can't really necessarily make any kind of accurate statements about Charybdis yet. I have not played her enough personally to fully familiarize myself with how she's supposed to function. So I'm going to leave the Charybdis alone, but I will tell you that she is pretty strong right now, and Neith was going to have a hard time because of that regardless. The Ganesh built pretty similarly to me, except he went with Stone of Binding as his second item, which is fairly interesting. I can see where in the early game this is fine, so I'm actually okay with this. This is something you would want to sell in the late game. Goes into Spirit Robe, which is... It might seem a little odd at first glance, but when you consider you have my Sleep, you have Zonqui's Stun, you have Neith's Root, Thor has 2 stuns, including the one in his ult. You've got a lot of hard crowd control, so Ganesh can really survive a lot longer with Spirit Robe in that form, and then Talisman of Energy, which makes some sense because clearly there was a lot of auto-attacking going on, including Nike for some reason. The Soul, fairly standard build. We have Pythagoras Piece, which is a little bit of an interesting choice here as an early item. Pythags is fine, but it's definitely not the first thing that I would build on Soul. I would be more inclined to go for Bancroft's Talon personally, and this might have been for the penetration, but you don't really need that much penetration in the early game either, so this is a little bit odd, especially since she was facing off against Olerin, and I think this is a large part of the reason why she had such a hard time in the early game, considering he built Bancroft's right off the top, and he had Death's Toll to boot, so he had better sustain. She built Pythags, and I'm not 100% sure why. If this was for the lifesteal, then Bancroft's can actually provide you with, on average, about as much lifesteal, in all honesty, because you're starting with a default 12% here, and then you're getting a 12% through the auras, that's 24%, but you start with 15% on Bancroft's, and you can go up to 20% at hideously low health. So I'm not really sure if I fully understand why this was built. It's a very odd choice, and then Charon's Coin was second, which, I mean, the Soul was just basically full stacking penetration right off the top. So early in the game, it does not make sense. Telkines is fine. This, I don't know what this was going to be, because she never finished it. She built this, and then went right to Rod of Tahuti for some reason. I'm not sure what the story is. I have no idea what happened here. I understand the rough idea of, okay, we have Pen, and then we have the basic attacks, but what happened here? Why didn't you just not build this at all and go right into Rod of Tahuti? I don't understand what happened here. It's very odd. The Hell, the Empiric Shroud, yep, that's fine. Genji's Guard, okay, your opposition is Zonqui, makes a lot of sense, that's really good. Lotus Crown, yep, you're a solo. You need to, be able to handle those minions, that's fine, this is great. Breastplate of Valor, okay, I'm not sure I would have built this as my 4th. I personally would have gone for, like, Voidstone here, and then go Breastplate of Valor instead of Ethereal Staff, and then finish up with Ethereal Staff, especially since Ethereal Staff steals a percentage of max health, so the later you build it, the better off you are, because, oh look, now they can steal 6% of your much higher maximum health at level 20, rather than, oh, 6% of your pathetic amount of health at level 12, you know? So I would have gone Voidstone here, then Breastplate of Valor, then Ethereal Staff. The Neats build is pretty much fine. If you're going to be building the Executioner, I don't necessarily know if you need Atalanta's Bow. I've never personally found Atalanta's Agility to be a major benefit. Personally, I've just not found that to be the case a lot of the time. So, again, that's a bit of a personal opinion, but I've just never really felt like I was getting anything out of Atalanta's Agility most of the time. Every once in a blue moon I'll be able to really see, hey, I was able to get that kill because of Atalanta's Agility, but it's not very often, and I think it's a little overbuilt right now, considering how little it actually offers you in comparison to a lot of other items. If you want power, you've got Archival, you've got Bloodforge. If you want attack speed, you have Oboe, of course, which is over here, or Silver Branch. If you want penetration, you still have Silver Branch. You've got, of course, Executioner, you have Titan's Bane. It's just, it doesn't do any one thing particularly well, and I just think it's a little excessive. Not a bad item, though. I can kind of understand why you would build this, is to continue pursuing Charybdis when she goes Whirlpool form, so I can kind of understand that. But, you know, at this point, I think maybe some crits would have been more effective. Turn that around. You know, Zonqui's build was fairly interesting. Unfortunate against the Nike, but Mannequin Scepter, yep. Ring of Fecate, yep. The problem here, what I have with Ring of Fecate is, yes, I understand this is built because it's an auto-attack lifesteal item for mages. Yes, but the passive is so meaningless in the early game. Increasing air power by 5%. At this point, he had, like, what, 100 power? He was increasing his power by 5 and reducing the power of his opponent by 5%. Hell didn't have power. Okay, pardon me. She had 25 power. Genji's Guard was not power. You can see where the problem here is. Ring of Fecate is a great item, and it's a great item on Zonqui, but this was built far and away too early for what he was doing. When you see the Hell, you should have gone into either full damage Telkine's Ring, which still wouldn't have been, you know, massively great, but it still would have been better than Ring of Fecate. You could have gone with Spear of the Magus, which is really fantastic. You could have gone with Spear of Desolation. You could have gone with Voidstone if you really wanted that magic protection and power. You could have gone with Genji's Guard yourself. This was built too early. Pestilence, great. Fantastic. Breastplate of Valor, also amazing. Great choice. Gem of Isolation. I'm not a fan of it on Zonqui, but I understand why a lot of people build it, and it is very effective on him. I just prefer building other things on him myself. But this is a good item. This is excellent on him, especially given their team comp isn't exactly the fastest once Charybdis runs out of her Whirlpool, which is the only mercy is that it doesn't last very long most of the time. Doomed. Soul, outside of her little Orb of Fire, doomed. Hell can cleanse this, but if she doesn't, or can't, doomed. So this makes some sense here. Yep, that's fine. And of course, the Olorin has the fairly standard Ring of Fecate. Again, makes a slightly too early appearance, but it's not quite as egregious as Zonqui's. I think Demonic Grip. I think actually in this particular scenario, you could have gone Telkine's, then Ring of Fecate, then Demonic Grip, and then Rod of Tahuti. This is probably going to be Typhon's Fang in all honesty, which is also fine. I think the Olorin, yeah, the Olorin was fine. But, yeah, mostly it was at the end there. That was quite the killer fight there, because we just kept all going in individually. So, with that being said, thank you all very much for joining me. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, ideas, suggestions, what have you, requests, whatever it is, please leave them down in the comment section below. If you like this, please like and subscribe, and thank you all very much for joining me. Have a great 24 hours.